was the person who you would least likely associate with someone who does meditation. I was on the go all the time. When I learned meditation, I had 3 smaller children. My mind was always racing. I dealt with a fair amount of anxieties and fears, and I had even gotten rid of watching the daily news, because if I watched news or violent movies, then I would have nightmares at night. And so I really took this stance where I had to withdraw myself from even viewing violent scenes. But my mind, it was always crazy, and I had a hard time sitting still. So when I contacted the Chopra Center, and they said to me, the first thing you need to do if you want to learn how to teach Ayurveda is to learn primordial sound meditation. First of all, the title of the course, Primordial Sound Meditation, I thought, oh no, we're going to be sitting in rooms and chanting something, and it seemed very unappealing to me at the time. But in my mind, I thought, okay, I want to learn about Ayurveda. I want to teach Ayurveda. So I'll go along with what they tell me to do. I'll learn the meditation practice, but no one can make me meditate. So I went to the Chopra Center and I got my primordial sound mantra, and it was a very bizarre experience for me. I was very jet lagged. I had flown from the south of France all the way to San Diego, California. I sat in a classroom with about 150 new meditators and learned the initial phases of the Primordial Sound Meditation course, which for me, since I already did not know what to expect, for me it was just, it sounded like gibberish. I had no idea what I was learning. And when it came time for me to learn my mantra, they separated us into separate spaces. They gave us a room that we had to go to learn our mantras. And so when I arrived at my room and it was time for me to learn my mantra, I walked into the room, and this was in a hotel. I walked into the room, and there was a woman sitting at a table. It was a round table, and she had a turban. She was an American looking woman, but with a turban, white garment, and it looked to me like she had something like a crystal ball on the table. And I thought, oh my good Lord, what am I doing? Am I joining a cult or what? So I was a little bit apprehensive. So this woman taught me my mantra, and the instructions were to go in the corner and just meditate with the mantra for about 20 to 30 minutes. And so my first meditation was really interesting because I heard the sound Om, which is a universal sound, while I was meditating. I thought, okay, this is kind of bizarre. But later on in the week, I began meditating during this 6-day meditation retreat. And while it was very, very resistant to learning initially, meditation really, it overtook me, and I began to trust in my mantra, which I believed I got the wrong mantra in the first place, but I began to trust in the mantra. I began to trust in the process. And what happened to me was this deep love and affection that began to develop for meditation. There's another story that goes along with this. So after I had my first child, I had developed this sudden fear of flying. I had always flown. I went to school in the south of France, so I was always doing transatlantic flights. I love travel. I love flying. But I developed this sudden fear of flying. So I'd get very anxious. I'd break out in cold sweats. I would imagine the plane crashing, and it was just this horrible feeling every time I knew I had to fly. Well, the interesting story is at the end of that 6-day meditation retreat, I went to board the plane to go back to Paris from Los Angeles, and I sat down and I said, well, let me just try this meditation practice inside the plane. And so I sat down, closed my eyes, began meditating. I must have meditated, a few hours intermittently throughout the flight. But one mysterious thing that happened is that my fear of flying instantly went away. And that fear of flying that I had with me for so many years, it went away and it never came back. So from the first week of meditation through today, which I learned my first meditation in Primordial Sound Meditation, I learned in 2007, we're going on almost 8 years, and 8 years, and I have this freedom from fear of flying, which was taken care of within 1 week of meditating. So it was quite amazing. And that's my story, and I have so many other amazing stories to tell about the benefits of meditation, the benefits of learning meditation, but practicing meditation as a lifelong practice. And it's something that I would never, ever say that I regret doing. It is one of the most valuable practices in my life, even today, 8 years later. I would say that, you know, I love teaching yoga. I love practicing yoga. Yoga has been in my life for over 26 years. But I would say if I had to let go of yoga, I would let go of yoga if I didn't have to give up meditation. Meditation has changed my life in so many ways. I'm a much calmer person. I'm much more grounded. That chaotic mind that existed for most of my life is now much calmer. I still have worries from time to time. I still have anxiety from time to time, and that's just part of being human. But that anxiety is much lower. It's a lower grade of anxiety. It's a lower grade of worry. And what I do know is that I have the benefits of my meditation practice to go to again and again. And it is such a beautiful practice to have. It's a great tool to have in your back pocket. You can meditate anywhere you want. As I mentioned, on a plane, in a train, sitting in your car at a stoplight. Hopefully you're not meditating while you're driving. But you can really take this practice with you wherever you go. It's free. There are no side effects. The benefits are absolutely endless. And I would say that everybody needs to learn a hardcore meditation practice just to find that centeredness, find that calm within, find that silence within. And it's just amazing once you experience that. So I invite you to try out our course, to take a leap of faith, and to embrace this practice that has been tested in time for thousands of years. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my story. And I have many more stories where that comes from. But thank you for taking the time. And I'm wishing you the most beautiful and pleasant day. And hopefully this will inspire you to learn the way I did. Namaste.